I'm running for Senator of Arts and Sciences for the Unite ticket.
Woo!
People couldn't be here, they had some previous commitments they had to attend to. But I'm hoping to run for student government this year and do my best on it.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ryan Kirchner. I'm running for the co-executive of Arts and Sciences. I'm a junior studying political science and international affairs, United States Marine, and I'm in CUSG.
Hi, my name is Kelsey Gidio. I'm a sophomore in the Arts and Sciences School. I'm a political science and film major currently. I'm involved with various activities from club soccer to the Annex Messenger program. I'm running for student government because being involved in these different groups, I know what they want on campus, and I know that different voices need to be represented, and that's what I'm aiming to do on Inspire Ticket. Thank you.
I'm Whitney Khan. I'm running for co-executive of the Arts and Sciences School. I'm the vice president of standards for Kappa Kappa Gala, and I'm a communication major with a double minor in philosophy and political science.
Hello everybody, thanks for being here. It means lots of both tickets. My name is Renzo Linus. I'm a freshman here at the university. I'm an integrative physiology major, and I'm involved in several things. I'm in Alpha Gamma Omega, which is the Christian fraternity here on campus. And the reason why I joined student government was because before I joined Inspire, I didn't really know what was going on at the university. And being involved in several groups just gave me the kind of idea of wanting to be able to lead my voice. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Lindsay Buxton. I'm a freshman majoring in aerospace engineering. I'm running for Engineering Council, representative at large for the Inspire ticket. And I am involved in Engineers Without Borders, Space Grant, and the President's Leadership class. And I joined student government because I want to inspire the student body to get involved.
Hello everybody, my name is Tyler Kapoya. I am also a freshman. I am currently an electrical and computer engineer, but I'm in the process of switching to computer science engineering. That being said, I am running for Engineering Council, running large with Lindsay. And I joined student government because, as Renzo said, I wish to leave a positive mark on this campus by the time I leave. So, thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Sam McNeely. I'm a freshman studying molecular biology here at CU. I'm in the President's Leadership class as well as the American Medical Students Association. I'm running for Arts and Sciences representative under the Inspire ticket. And in student government, I hope to just give students a voice in decisions that affect campus life.
Hi, my name is Jake Falk. I'm a freshman in aerospace engineering. I'm running for representative of Engineering Council on the Inspire ticket. I am a part of presidential leadership class, Engineers Without Borders, and Colorado Space Grant. And if elected, I hope to increase the community among students and create a more inclusive campus.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Stone. I'm a sophomore here at CU. I'm currently a political science and geography major. I'm an independent candidate that's currently running for Arts and Science Senator. So my main part of the election is kind of installing some of the facts I got from my student group, which is a passion for student government, a passion for the student body. I'm currently founder and leader of Election Protection, which is, a group that I founded for that passion, that pride in our school, and I want to bring that to student government and hope I can do a good job serving you guys.
Hi everybody, my name is Wayne Din. I'm a Daniel scholar. I'm currently in the engineering school for chemistry. Coming from Vietnam, I feel like I can represent all the kids here that feel unfamiliar or from out of country. So, yeah, I'm inspired, and I'm running for I'm running under the Inspire ticket.
There we go. I'm Ken Cohen. I'm a junior running for rep at large on the UC Council for Inspire. Served on the council a year ago, involved in the Associated
directors of the Civil Engineering Society. I just want to be a part of student government to really get the ideas out there to the students and see how they can bring ideas to the student government, see how they can really make it.
My name is Paul Brazil. I'm a freshman here. My major is history, and I'm running for a representative for College of Arts and Sciences. I'm going to be on student government because I'm pretty close to my peers, and I think I can represent this well.
Everyone, my name is Benjamin Zatz, and I'm a junior studying aerospace engineering. And I'm running for a co-senate position on the Engineering Council, and I'm running for student government so I can give the engineering students a louder voice.
Hi, my name is Brian Kelly. I'm a sophomore architectural engineering student. I'm running for a representative at large on the Engineering Council. I'm involved in the club hockey team as well as I also currently serve on the Engineering Council as a rep. And I just want to continue to improve the communication between the student government and the students.
Hi there, my name is Lauren Gresh, and I am running for Vice President of Engineering Council on the Inspire ticket. I am currently on the Engineering Council, and I am also involved in Society of Women Engineers and a lot of Rotary work around Boulder. And the reason I want to run again is because I've thoroughly enjoyed my time on Engineering Council right now, helping out different student groups and making sure they're able to get their voices out and get their events done.
Hello everyone, my name is Elliot Top. I'm a sophomore aerospace engineer. Currently, I'm on Engineering Council right now. I'm running on the Inspire ticket. And for everyone next year, I want to bring more transparency, more, basically more events, activities, and make the engineering school more fun.
Hi, my name is Daniel Hansen. I'm running for president of the engineering school. I'm a senior civil engineering student, and I'm continuing on as a graduate student in the BSMS program. So I'd really like to run for president of engineering, help out the engineering school increase our visibility on campus, help increase transparency with what UCEC does, and also help our efficiency in how we spend our money. Thanks.
Did every ASSG and engineering candidate get you? All right, 2 quick clarifying points. To the candidates, I'll be your timekeeper. I'll just give you the wave when you're at 30 seconds, okay? Just to help you monitor your time. And then second part, just a point of clarification. The independents that we're inviting to speak at the end of questions 1 and 5 are just the rep-at-large independents. I know we've got at least one independent ASSG candidate, and while we appreciate their presence, we don't want to give anybody an unfair platform, okay? Make sense to everyone? Great. We'll get started then. So since we're not on the toss, we'll ask them to come up first. They'll get the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure, brief. Name, major, what you're running for. Or name year, what you're running for. Yeah, this won't count.
My name is Rosanna Rodriguez, and I'm a junior international affairs major. I'm running for the position of representative at large.
Good evening, my name is Judon Kabetti. I'm a sophomore. I'm a communication major here at CU as well, and I am also running for a representative at large position.
Good evening, my name is Ellie Roberts, and I'm a sophomore. I'm in the School of Education as well as the School of Arts and Sciences, majoring in communication, and so I'm a sophomore. And I'm running for executive. most important.
Hi, I'm Chris Schaefauer. I'm a graduate student in computer science, and I'm going to be running for a tri-executive position with United.
Good evening, my name is Marco Dorado. I'm a junior in the Lead School of Business studying finance, and I'm also a candidate for the track executive position with Unite.
Hi, and thanks for coming. My name is Walker Williams. I'm a second-year student at the law school, and I'm running for representative at large.
Hey everyone, just wanted to thank everyone for coming out tonight. My name is Eric Mercadante. I'm a junior studying environmental sciences and sociology, and I'm running for representative at large with Unite.
We're going to invite the inspired candidates to introduce themselves now so we don't disrupt the flow of the questions.
Good evening, my name is Joe Putnick. I'm a junior in the business school studying finance and information management with certificate in entrepreneurship, and I'm running for CUSG representative at large.
Hi everyone, my name is Brianna Majeski. I'm a sophomore studying journalism, advertising, and communication, and I'm running for representative at large on the Inspire ticket.
How's it going, everybody? My name is David Brettel. I'm a first-year graduate student studying structural engineering, and I'm also running for representative at large on the Inspire ticket.
Hi, I'm Ashley Prince. I'm a sophomore studying psychology and sociology, and I'm also running for representative at large.
Good evening. My name is Colby Schwartz. I'm running for the Vice President of External Affairs for the Inspire ticket. I am a business student with an emphasis in marketing.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexis Scobie, and I'm running for student body president with the Inspire ticket. I'm majoring in political science with a minor in business and a minor in leadership theory.
Hi, I'm Logan Schlatz. I'm the Vice President for Internal Affairs currently. I'm a junior studying international affairs with a focus on
Okay. So Unite, your time will begin when Connor asks the question, and I'll give you the 30-second warning.
Oh, yeah. All right, first question. How do you feel about CUSG's current role on campus? What is being done well? What improvements would you suggest and implement if elected? You have 2 minutes.
So thanks everybody for coming out tonight. So the CUSG's role right now, one of CUSG's biggest weaknesses is not advocating for students strongly enough outside of just the CU community. So right now, there's a lot of things that go on at the state level in the city of Boulder broadly that actually have to do with what happens at CU. And right now, CUSG has not taken a really strong position on those issues, and they haven't gone out into the community and fought and advocated on behalf of students. I think that CUSG has done a really good job of continuing to manage the student fees that they oversee. They have a process, but I think that process fails to include sustainable planning for our cost centers. So right now, every cost center has to work year to year with different administrations and has no idea how much funding they're going to have. They have no idea what next year's budget will look like because there's no sustainable long-term planning. CUSG has to develop a plan that will enable long-term planning for cost centers so that they can develop services that are actually in the best interests of our students. The other thing that CUSG needs to take a leadership role in is really advocating for equity on our campus. So equity isn't just equality. So equity is about making sure that everybody has the tools to succeed and really recognizing that everybody comes from a different background and that you can't just give the same resources to different people. So an example, so really when you think about it, equality is giving everybody the same size shoe. Equity is about giving everybody the shoe that fits them. And that's what Unite is all about. That's what Unite's fighting for. It's fighting for equity on this campus and not equality.
Inspire, you have 2 minutes for your rebuttal.
Hi everyone. As I said earlier, my name is Alexis Scobie. winning and a losing ticket, and I was really disheartened by how political CU student government had become. I really felt like it was more about the elected officials in the room and less about the student voices outside of the room. With that being said, I really think that it is our responsibility as CU student government to represent the student voice and to represent the students as a whole. That's something that I would really like to see changed. So in terms of representation, the Inspire ticket has some concrete plans that we're planning on doing. One thing that we have already done is create a proxy system that isn't just picking your best friend to take your seat if you have to vacate it. In terms of representation, we've made it so that students have to go and get 250 signatures in order to have a proxy. And that's just an easy way, a low-hanging fruit, for people to then be able to really, have the student voice and go out into the community and talk to students. I think that's very important. Another thing that we want to do is create a website so that students can create petitions. The website would be much like the We the People website, if you guys know of that. It would be called Be the Buffs. And we have a mock-up that we'll show you guys later. But basically what it is that students can create petitions, and then if they reach a certain number of signatures, Legislative Council has to take action on that petition. This is an easy way, again, to represent the students. I think in terms of transparency and representation, these are things that we're missing. Obviously, organizations can always grow and become better, and I think CUSG does a great job at managing cost centers and things like that, but I really do think that it's our responsibility to come back to the students, to be more visible to the students, and to represent the student body better.
So first of all, I'd like to thank Representative Scobie for some of the ideas that she put forth that I do think are very productive. I think far more important, though, is what wasn't touched on, which is actually building community on this campus and believing that we need to build safe spaces for all students, that we need a consistent level of funding to student groups, we need a consistent level of funding to the resource centers that cater to historically underrepresented students. It's fine to say, and it is true, that we are all Buffs, and we should all govern together, and everyone on this campus is extraordinarily important. What I've seen in the past from the ticket that is not ours, although we both renamed ourselves recently, is one push to cut student fees as much as possible, to save $2 to $10 to $20 per student in student fees, and not advocate on more important issues, not go out into the community and advocate at the state capitol, not take stances on political issues that are bigger than student government but that matter to students. It's our job to be the student voice, and we need to take that seriously.
All right, second question. Sorry, the independents are up. Yeah, man. All right, you have 2 minutes to respond. 2 minutes each, and I'll wave at Chad.
Cool. I won't use the whole 2 minutes by any means, but just to introduce myself. I'm Mitch Fenn. I'm a junior in the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm a double major in psychology and political science. I want to thank both parties first off by throwing a little fit when they heard that the independents were going to get a chance to speak. Thank you very much. It was big of both of you. But as far as this question goes, I don't know too much about Colorado student government's current role. From the standpoint of someone who's just getting involved in it and didn't know too much about it before getting involved, is that it's not nearly visible enough. And that kind of ties into one of my improvements, is that reaching out to students regarding major decisions that affect everyday life on this campus should be a priority. So for things like concealed carry weapons on campus and banning 420 on campus and the smoking ban that's taking effect on campus, I think it's really important that CU student government makes a very concerned effort to get as much of the student opinion as possible. So that would be one of my major improvements. And then the other one is just funding. I'm a member of club sports. I'm the vice president of the CU lacrosse team. I work closely with the rec center staff. And I think that the rec center is one of the best ways for students to get involved in something bigger than themselves on campus. And the most amount of funding that we can put into that is the best amount of funding. So, thank you.
Question 2, this will be going to Inspire first. What do you feel is
How do you plan to ensure you pursue achievement of that goal if elected? You have 2 minutes.
There are 2 pieces of the Inspire platform that really stand out to me and really address this question well. First is the concept of affordability, and the second is the concept of representation. I can tell you as a student who's paying his way through graduate school that every dollar really does count when it comes to paying for your tuition and addressing the student fees issue from year to year. So in no ways are we looking to cut funding. We're looking for efficiency. We're looking to reallocate funding so that we can use our dollars in the best way possible. Everything that we do, everything that CUSG supports should add value to your degrees. Our collective goal is to make this a world-class experience and world-class education for you at CU, and that is how that's what we would be focusing on with our affordability. With representation, we need to know what the students want, and that is a big focus of our platform. We care about that a lot, and Alexis Scobie already addressed ways that we would be reaching out to the student body, but those 2 working together will help make this education and this experience much better.
And I just want to follow up to that. As I said earlier, representation is huge for us, and it's really something that we really value and that we think is of utmost importance. Walker Williams stated that it is our duty as CUSG to take political stances, and I would say that that's not our duty. Our duty is to listen to the student voice. That is why the Inspire ticket is endorsed by both the College Democrats and the current president of the College Republicans. And that's because we're not taking political stances, but rather we're representing what the students want. Because at the end of the day, I'm only Alexis Scobie, but when I'm representing students, I represent way more and way beyond myself. And I think at the end of the day, that's what Inspire stands for, and that's what we really care about. So like Gretel said, representation is really important for us.
Unite, you have 2 minutes for a moment. When you start talking, just start.
All right, once again, I want to say thank you for everyone coming out tonight. It's great to see so many students engaged in our legislative process. The single most important job that I see for CUSG and for myself, it's actually twofold. It's to advocate for students and to support student groups. Student groups on this campus, they're what make our campus. If we don't support student groups, the life of our campus becomes completely diminished. And so I think our role as part of student government is to continue to support them, but also become part of their communities to learn about what best ways to support them, and not just say, oh, we're going to take your money away, or oh, we're going to give you more money, because that doesn't work. We need to know who the student groups are, what they do, and what they're all about, because we want to continue to fund that to continue to enrich our campus. When it comes to advocacy, I would disagree with Representative Scobie. When there are issues that are happening at the state capitol, at the city level, that affect our students, there's no reason why us as student government shouldn't be advocating for the students on our campus. I'm going to delegate the rest of my time to Walker because he has some more information to say.
I want to say briefly, from the perspective of a grad student that was brought up early on, Chris Shapauer and I went to UGGS tonight, and I went to the Student Bar Association yesterday. Those are the law school and grad school student governments, and we've received both of their endorsements because they know that we understand what it takes to lower tuition, increase access to resources for grad students without destroying those student resources. On the politics point, I didn't say we should take political stances. I said we should take stances on political issues that matter to students. Refusing to listen to students is not representative. Going out, finding their opinion, and standing up for it is representative. Thank you.
Platform aims to do all that, aims to make it more affordable, aiming to provide a empower you guys as best. Thank you. All right, question number 3. Diversity is an ever-present and ever-evolving subject at CU. What diversity issues are most important to you, and what actions will you take to ensure that diverse students and groups will be strongly and fairly represented on campus? You have 2 minutes.
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out. We really appreciate you guys being out here and supporting both sides of the table. So, why diversity is extremely important here at CU, and what issues that Unite is looking to do about it. We feel that, as one of our representatives said, that we really want to represent equity. We really want to push equity. Yes, we are all equal. We are all equal as humans. We all have inalienable rights. But we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different cultures. And so we really, really want to provide so much support for student groups. So when people come to Boulder and have a culture shock, they have a home away from home, whether it is the Deep South or whether it is overseas. We want to make sure that student groups here on campus are here as a community for students all from all different backgrounds. And we want to make sure that every student's culture is respected. And we want to be able to provide student groups opportunities to put on symposiums or to put on extra events to where all students from all over the campus can come and learn about different cultures. And that's how we will truly be united.
I'm going to add to what Julian just said as well. One of the biggest diversity issues that I've encountered is accessibility to our university. Coming from a low-income background, being a Latino student that comes from Denver's working-class suburbs, a lot of the times my classmates from high school don't make it to college. A lot of them are Latino, a lot of them come from underrepresented communities. And so I think it's helping those students get to CU, and once they're here, help them build a community. Because when you step your foot on campus, it's like you're going to a completely different place. I know I definitely felt that when I came to campus, and so I think in order to help foster diversity, we need to be inclusive, and we need to support student groups that support communities like Latinos, like LGBTQ, like veterans, any underrepresented community that's historically been underrepresented on our campus. Thank you.
Diversity is really important on this campus and something Inspire advocates for. In fact, I'm actually an international student. Laugh. International student. I'm Canadian, and so I have to do everything necessary that every single international student has to do here. And it is a process, and it is hard. And so I'm definitely willing to hear all the other international students, and I want to have their voices heard as well. Because we are a minority on campus, and it's important to be heard because it's a different way of going about college.
And one of the projects that Inspire's already started is I've worked with a group of disabled students on campus who, when it snows out, blind students don't go to class. Sometimes when students become temporarily disabled on this campus, they have to drop out of class halfway through the semester. So that is one underrepresented group who we try to create tangible solutions, offer them a solution to their current predicament. We've been working with the university on this, and we've been working with a lot of officials to make this a point, and so we can hopefully have a concrete pilot program in place by next year. So that's something that we've already started to do, but in addition to that, we think a way to access accessibility for next year to make the university more affordable to students is to create a scholarship for students. So that's why if Inspire's elected, we're going to make it a priority to go out and fundraise and host events so that we can offer scholarships to students who might not otherwise be able to attend the university.
And I think this is important. The scholarship is pretty near and dear to my heart because as a member of diverse scholars programs within the business school, you have a lot of emphasis on family and community. And I would agree, there's not the community that needs to be within the CU Boulder campus. And I think that this is a step towards creating that community because again, this scholarship is focused on students helping students. It's a community of giving back. It's a community of responsibility and helping those to your left and to your right. And I think this is a great great way to start with that, and as leaders, we can really set an example for campus.
Help Logan work on a grant search for the disabled transportation program that he talked about, and I think that's incredibly important work, as well as the scholarship. I'd like to focus more on concrete.
So like I said earlier, representation and compromise are also really important to the Inspire ticket. Earlier, we've only been in office for roughly 3 months, and within those 3 months, we've really had a tremendous time and really compromised with what is considered to be, an opposing ticket. I have emails from members of that other ticket saying what a good compromiser I personally am, and how, I really encourage people to listen and to speak with one another. I think at the end of the day, Inspire is also really only focused on representation. And that is why we do have the College Democrats and the president of the College Republicans vote, is because we're not a partisan party, and we do not want to be. And I think at the end of the day, what we want is what the students want. We'll take actions on what the students want. And that's where we differ, is that we only represent the students. So at the end of the day, my partisanship really has nothing to do with CU student government. And so I think amongst elected officials, that should be, a commonality, and everyone should accept that and agree upon that. When we first took office, I really asked our council to put their partisan parties aside and not be, at the time it was the Pulse and Inspire, and I really asked them to just be bus, because at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're all bus. Woo!
30 seconds.
So I've worked with several members on the Inspire ticket, and I think working together is incredibly important, and I think when we have, we've been very successful. I authored a bill, or a resolution, calling for an increase in funding to higher education and allowing us to take the practical step of lobbying the state capitol to take any means up to and including repeal of Tabor to make that happen, because I know that's what students want, and state representatives have told us that increasing funding to public higher education is not possible without taking that step. I passed that through the United Government of Graduate Students without a lot of debate, because they know that's what students want. When I brought it to CUSG, it took us 4.5 hours, and Alexis Scobie and Logan Schlitz objected strenuously, which is absolutely what they should do for the people that they represent, if that's what those students want. They consistently said, though, that they weren't sure what the students wanted on that issue, and we had to sit there all evening and argue ideological points that should not matter, when we know that this is what the students want, and we know that this is what we have to do to get what the students want. Thank you.
So cooperation is about reaching across the aisle. And it's about reaching across the aisle on difficult issues that are not partisan. So an issue like 420 that affects every student on this campus, I led a task force and I invited members from both tickets. And members from Unite were consistently at those meetings, and we invited members of Inspire that they didn't attend. And they had a chance to actually be a part of this conversation about addressing the issue of 420, and they weren't there. And so reaching across the aisle again on the issue of actually engaging the student body and working on the tabling initiative that Julia Harrington, myself, and Lexi Weiner started, the work that we put in all the way in fall, that working together on how do we engage the student body, and again, Inspire members weren't at the table. They weren't a part of it. And they were willing to do the tabling, but they weren't willing to follow through on anything else, on actually doing flyering, on actually talking to students, and thank you.
Inspire, 1 minute. Okay, so I think it's only appropriate that I take this question, seeing as the opposing ticket directed it at me. So, with that being said, yes, I did not support the Tabor resolution. That did not mean that I didn't support the repealing of Tabor as an individual. That did not mean that the students didn't support the repealing of Tabor. I thought it was a poorly written document. I thought it came to council at a bad time. And ultimately, I didn't think there was enough student outreach. So at the end of the day, when it comes to the Tabor resolution, yes, I didn't support it, but that doesn't mean that I didn't support what the students wanted. Walker Williams also said, the people that you represent. I take offense to that, because the people that I represent are the bus. for outreach. We need to be having public forums. We need to be representing everyone and not just your group.
Everybody keeps moving at this pace. We're going to get you out of here really early tonight. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to use the restroom or get some
CUSG and throughout campus as a whole. How would you like to see money and tuition and fee increases spent? You have 2 minutes.
Hi everyone, my name is Ellie Roberts and I'm one of the executives for the Unite ticket. So we really want to talk about the budgetary issues. So right now I'm Student Group Funding Board Chair and I had to go through a big budget cycle. And Inspire put out a memo talking about all the cost centers that they wanted to cut. They wanted to cut my board $76,000. So if they cut us $76,000, that would hurt so many student groups on this campus. We fund over 110 student groups every year, so that would be cutting out probably 10 student groups that we can fund. So what our biggest goals are is to make sure that the student groups get the funding that they deserve, and making sure that the cost centers get the funding that they deserve, making sure the advocacy centers get the funding that they deserve, and making sure that they don't get cut for willy-nilly things that don't actually matter, and that will save the students 4 cents. When instead we could be giving that money to groups like Cultural Events Board, which is bringing Macklemore in 2 weeks. So we can keep doing things like that. Keep giving money to those kind of organizations. In terms of tuition, do I have? Okay. In terms of tuition, I just want to address that CUSG actually can lobby to bring tuition down. Woo! So we've actually had, I think 3 of our representatives have been lobbying at the State House to bring tuition down. The only way change happens on college campuses and in general is when college students go out and speak up for their students. That's what we want to do. We want to speak up for our students and we want to bring tuition down. Because as an in-state student, I can't even afford to go here now. The 6% raise is going to kill me. Absolutely kill me. I am going to be buried in loans and financial aid for the rest of my life. So this is really, 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 really important that we lobby for tuition. Thank you.
Someone just start talking in the next 5 seconds.
Hi, so I'm just going to go again on the personal attack that was made, and then we'll go forward and talk as a ticket. I would like to say that Inspire, who proposed budget cuts, 3 members of Inspire, for the sake of transparency and opening communication, did send out a budget scenario that was then taken way out of context and put on Facebook. I would also like to say that, we haven't made any personal attacks tonight. We've really tried to hold ourselves to a high standard, and I encourage the other tickets to do the same.
So in terms of tuition and student fees, obviously one of our big parts of the platform is the idea of affordability. Now, in some instances, as far as student fees, we try to contend what we control. In that, there's obviously a lot of large-hanging fruit that have been taken care of, but there's still inefficiencies that we've identified, and we work to try to mitigate that. In terms of this idea of wanting to lower student tuition, I honestly am appalled. I don't, it's kind of, as a finance major, it's a difficult question to ask because higher education is the only institution year over year that's experienced an increase. They've never had a decrease. If 3 people, if the idea of lobbying, if we could all go down and just, encourage someone to decrease tuition. I'm in the business school, the most expensive college on campus. Why is that? It's because we're so underfunded by the state. We've instituted a grading policy that implemented so that X amount of students will fail and have to retake these classes, which regenerates revenue. Obviously, these are questions and issues that we need to address and identify. We're going to work towards that. We would love to lower tuition, but at the same time, trust me when I say, you get what you pay for online. We can go to community college, we can go to Western State, we can go to college, University of Colorado. This is a research institute. You're going to leave here, 40 degree, set up for the rest of your life.
I'll keep it short on this. I feel like the biggest issue with last year was just the enormous amount of money spent on a concert that no one really gave to touchy subject. I think everyone understands that it's a touchy subject. There are people who feel strongly both ways and people who really don't care either way. But I think the biggest thing is that whatever the proposed solution is, whatever the proposed remedy, if there is a remedy, is that people are involved in the decision and that people know about it. It's like, it's fine if money's going to get spent on a concert, it better be a really good concert. So.
By CU and the CU Foundation to remove all university endowment investments in the fossil fuel industry. Inspire you.
Wait, we're first.
Oh, sorry. Alright, I get confused.
Hello again. So I think this is really important, and I think it's great that they're posing this question to the student body, because I think it's great because it'll give both tickets, whoever wins, the opportunity to do what the students want. So I'm really glad that they're doing this. Chris and I have been actually meeting with a lot of the people in the Divest campaign, and we've been having open conversations about it, what things that we might be concerned about. We really want to hear from all sides, people who aren't for the Divest campaign, people who are for the Divest campaign. And since we've been meeting with them, we have decided as a ticket to support this decision to divest. So I'm going to give it to Eric next.
Hey there. As an environmental studies major and a sociology major, this is an important topic to me, and I think it's a huge topic for the entire school here. 200 schools have done this, and 200 schools are fighting for this. And I believe, I'm a big believer in sustainability, innovation, and creativity. And, you know, here at the university, we have a rich intercultural exchanges of ideas, and I think that's something that the university should support, is ideas going around in circles. And I really feel like that sustainable CU is an important aspect to removing endowments. Thank you.
About 20 seconds.
Can I just say that the fossil fuel industry, the price of fossil fuels varies tremendously, so it's not really a sustainable, from day to day, it does vary tremendously, and so it's not a sustainable way, it's not a moral way, and to support our campus. It's private money controlling our campus, and the money that we get from, thank you.
On this topic, we think it's very important that this is going to be a ballot issue that will be put out to the student body. Our goal as Inspire is not to tell the students what their opinion is supposed to be on this subject. That's the reason why it's on the ballot, is to ask students what they think. So we'll give them the description of what the resolution says and let them make their own decision. That's what our job is to do. Student government's not supposed to be about the people inside the room of Legislative Council, but about the students that it represents. Our goal is transparency. We're not going to run over the student body voice like they did with the tobacco issue. We're going to reach out to students before we pass controversial resolutions, like asset authored by Colorado. And we will not testify to Congress until we reach out to the student body. That's what our job is to do, to reach out to the student body and represent them.
Before I begin, I want to make it clear that whatever the student referendum says, our ticket will support, because we believe in supporting the student voice. The work we've done so far on this question leads us as a ticket to believe that the campus supports this issue. The question was, do you support this referendum? Our answer is yes. If the student body demonstrates that they have a different answer, of course we'll represent the student voice. I also want to comment regarding saying things about each other's records. I do think it's better if they're true, unlike what Logan Schlutz just said about Chris having anything to do with the tobacco ban. Most importantly, and this might sort of be the law student in me speaking, but I don't think that talking about your record and what you've done is a personal attack. I think talking about your record is wide open. That's what we're here to talk about. What have you done, and what does it show about what you will do in the future? These dodges from former actions, I think, are transparently intellectually dishonest. I think you should talk about what you've done and embrace it and be proud of it, because I am. Thank you.
Well, I definitely don't mind being independent right now. This is going to be on the ballot, and I think students need to be more informed about it. If you put this question in front of 90% of CU students right now, they would have no idea what endowment investments in fossil fuel are. So yeah, I think this is a good initiative, and it should be on the ballot because it's a really pertinent issue. But for the time being, I don't think there's enough awareness on campus for it to really be on the ballot. That's just my opinion.
One quick thing, I've been asked now by representatives from both sides, just an even closer to the time being up countdown, so I'll give you the 5-second countdown. Okay.
Question 8, final question. What are your views regarding the new campus-wide smoking ban? How will you assist both the university and the student body in the midst of what is sure to be conflicting and equally passionate points of view?
Okay, so ultimately, the administration moved forward with the campus-wide smoke ban. Legislative council voted no, like we had said. And ultimately, it's something that the administration is going to do either way. So it doesn't really necessarily matter what we think. We will support, the administration of this university, but at the same time, I really think there was a lack of transparency and a lack of student voice in this. And that's something that I'm going to talk about, which is transparency. So I think in terms of transparency, if we're going to talk about personal records, then great, let's talk about personal records. So supporters of the Unite ticket went down to the Capitol earlier this year to speak on behalf of something, on behalf of CU student government, when it never was voted on in legislative council, and it was never asked to students, what do you think about this? So that's something that I think is a lack of transparency. I also think it's a lack of transparency that the Wardenburg Health Center raised student fees $6 this year without any student representation or any student voice, except for the students that were on that board. Lastly, I think that it's a complete lack of transparency on the other tickets' behalf that they haven't even told us what their presidential and vice presidential structure will be when that is in our Constitution. Thank you.
Okay, just very briefly, I would like to address the issue regarding advocating for against concealed carry. During the State of the Campus address that the Tri-Executives delivered this year, that was explicitly written in that address, which Tri-Executive Schultz knew about. And so I don't know if you didn't know about it, if you didn't read it, but that was something that was in there. I just want to address that really quick.
So bringing this back to the issue of the smoking ban, I really want to clarify that the administration actually didn't go forward without student input. What was actually voted down in Legislative Council, and this is a really important distinction that you need to know about these things when you're going to be voting on them, is that we voted on a tobacco-free resolution. That's not the same as a smoking ban on campus. They're very different things. And it turns out the administration had intended to make a tobacco-free campus, and when they heard the opposition from the student government, they changed their mind to smoke-free because they listened to what happened in that conversation, and they actually took that and they made changes. And so I didn't make those decisions, but the administration listened to students. I think that the student government needs to really recognize that when they've had influence and actually celebrate those victories. I think that the smoking ban is really important, and it comes back to the health and wellness of our students, of the student body, of the entire CU community. It is scientifically proven that secondhand smoke is dangerous, and it's scientifically proven that even outdoor levels of secondhand smoke are dangerous, and it's not fair for any student, anybody who comes on this campus to detrimentally affect the health of another human being. It's their right to have clean air, and it's their right to life, and there's no right to smoking. There's no right on this campus, and it's completely in our power to protect the health and wellness of our entire community and to be socially and environmentally just, because that's what this university is about. We are about environmental justice. Like Mitch had said, we are a leader in green things, and banning smoking on this campus, getting rid of cigarette butts, actually having an impact, that's important to students.
Well, we think of the more important issue tonight, but we want to talk about our plan for club sports on this campus. Our plan is to put together a funding board which would help, which would use money to put towards club sports teams, to make club sports more affordable, because we think that this is something that's very valuable for our reputation, it's very valuable for student involvement, and it is something that we really care about. And the high cost of participation in club sports makes it extremely difficult for students to get involved in. We believe that the healthiest campus is when there's no barriers to involvement.
And if you guys have more questions about our plan for club sports, it's all outlined on this board, and we'll leave them up after the debates if you guys want to come up and see our plans.
Okay, just to briefly actually address the questions that as far as assisting students and the university in what's really going to be probably a good source of conflict on our campus is, am I right in understanding that this is a self-enforced thing? This is if you see someone smoking a cigarette, that's probably going to make a lot of people unhappy. Seriously, I don't smoke, but I can imagine if I was a smoker and someone came up to me and just looked me right in the eye and said, hey, put that out, I'd be a little peeved. So I think either a new form of enforcement or something that's going to minimize that kind of direct approach and conflict among students is definitely important. And then just more concrete rules for it, like self-enforcement. No one's going to stop smoking because it's, a student's going to tell them not to.
Since Unite won the toss at the beginning of the night, we're going to let Inspire make the first round of closing remarks each ticket, and then Mitch will have 3 uninhibited minutes to speak about whatever they want. Should be fun.
Hi, so like I said, my name is Alexis Scobie, and I think it's really important, and what we want to leave you with is that we really care about representation, and we really care about the student voice, and that's the whole basis that Inspire is founded upon, and it's something that we advocate for on a daily basis. That being said, we also care about affordability, and we care about lowering student fees, and we care about making CU a more affordable place to go to school. We want to give students a place to have their voice heard, but also a place where they can come to school and not feel the burden of a lot of student fees or the burden of very high tuition. That being said, I also want to just highlight that we've given concrete plans, we've given concrete examples. We have 3 examples here, which are just few of the many of what we really want to do if we are elected into office. We do want to represent club sports in a better way than they are represented right now. We do want to have a We the Bus website so that students have their voice heard, and we do want to have a For the Students, By the Students scholarship, because at the end of the day, we're all of us, and we all need to take care of each other a little bit more.
That is one of our platform. We just want to reiterate our commitment to student groups. We really do believe there's 800 student groups on this campus, and it is very important that we work with student groups. And the thing is, our ticket, we're involved in so many student groups already that we know the issues are important, and we know how to help be more efficient, and work with them to really give them a campus which they can thrive on. Because that's one of the things that makes our university so much more
important in such an incredible university that it is a great student leaders that we have on this campus, and providing leadership opportunities for them is one of the greatest opportunities that we have as student leaders. The other point that we want to talk about from our platform tonight is just again our commitment to student safety. It's important that a student, regardless of the way they identify, be safe on this campus. And if we're elected from day one, that's one of the issues we want to continue working on, is to make sure that students have a safe environment, because at the end of the day, we're all here for an education, and nobody can learn if you still threaten on this campus.
And I wanted to say thank you, Mitch. I agree that efficiency and sustainability was overlooked, and that's one of actually our last points on the platform. I think it's great when it goes through the entire thing. When we look at, we really want to inspire sustainability and efficient practices. And I think you can look at this from multitude of standpoints. You can look at A, from the environmental standpoint. As you guys know, well, there's a leader. They've always been a leader. We want to continue to be a leader within the entire world. We've got green buildings, we've got zero cost buildings. We really want to continue to encourage that and encourage the cost centers like the environmental center. We also want to look at it from another perspective. I think it's very important, and it's really close to me, is I'm a business student. I think of a lot of things in a businessman. And what happens is, in my opinion, being sustainable and being efficient is good business. It makes sense. To do things and cut costs and to do and ensure that you're not wasting anything is the best.
Hi everyone. We just want to say thank you for all coming out and for sticking through a little bit of the bickering. You guys are soldiers for doing that. So I just want to talk about what Unite means to us. So Unite for us, we named ourselves Unite because we want to unite to represent everyone. Absolutely everyone. Not just the Greek students, although we do have Greek students on our campus. We want to represent graduate students, law students, student groups. We want to unite to represent absolutely everyone. Thank you.
Yes, uniting all the students here on campus is a top priority. And how we do this is not by cutting student fees, because student fees is what provides us with things such as the Source potluck bi-weekly, where it is open to all students. Student fees provide us with the potluck for collaboration that is open to all students. Student fees allows us to have the Taste of Africa, which is open to all students. So we are in support of uniting the campus to get all students together and to learn about the different cultures that are here on this campus. Yes, we are one. We are one buff. We are one under the buff identity. But as well, we want to be able to respect everyone else's cultures and their backgrounds and learn from it, so we can better be stewards out in the world once we graduate.
I believe going off of that is going back to promoting diversity here on campus. And also, I believe that this intertwines with sustainability. And thank you for talking about sustainability. And thank you, Mitch. It's a big, important topic here. And Boulder is one of the top tiers in this work. So I would like to hand this off to Walker and have him talk a little more.
I just wanted to talk briefly. My primary area of concentration is in finance for renewable energy projects, and just to push back on a very common idea that that Colby Schwartz presented. I'm not sure the title, sorry. Sometimes being sustainable costs money. That's why there's a production tax credit in the United States, and that's the only reason renewable power exists in the United States. So it's great. We should be sustainable, we should be economical where we can, but we have to pay for this. You don't get sustainability for free in an environmental context. That's just not true. That was just extremely important for me to say, so thank you. Yeah.
And just the point that we would like to end on is that when we created our ticket, we named our ticket, just like Ellie said, we named our ticket Unite because we held open primaries. We came together as a community, we outreached to as many people as possible and said, let's get together, let's choose our candidates, and let's see what the community thinks needs to happen in student government. And so although the rhetoric keeps coming back and forth about being the representative ticket and representing all communities, we just want you to know that we're coming together to unite all communities on campus. Thanks.
All right. Well, I'll be attending more We obviously have two really good tickets, two really passionate tickets out here, and they've shown that just by what they've said for the past hour and a half. But the independents that are running, you really need to consider the fact that they run for what they believe in, and they run for hopefully what the students believe in. There's no ticket behind them. There's no ideological background to it. It's just someone who wants to get involved and is trying to get involved. So keep that in mind when you're voting. And then as far as my closing statements, I picked out just kind of three things that I was trying to hint at the whole time, and I was going to mention again. The first is the need for more involvement from our representatives amongst our students. A lot of the things that have been discussed tonight, such as the smoking ban and the 420 problem, a lot of it can be solved if the extra emphasis is put into finding out what students want. It's always going to be different. There's never a perfect answer. No one is always going to be happy, but you need to try as hard as you can to make as many people happy as you can. So that's my first point. The second is as far as spending money. I feel in this aspect, our school, any school, is a lot like a country. The more you invest in yourself, the better you're going to do. Like when Eisenhower built the highway system, it made the country better. The more money we spend on CU, the better CU is going to get. So really big for me. And then the last, of course I'm going to close with it, is support for our student groups, something both tickets touched on, something that's really close to me as I'm involved in a student group right now. I pay to be involved in my student group. I pay a lot of money to be involved in my student group, and it's unfortunate. So any support that CU can send towards the students who